everybody to Tammy Talks. All right, let's get into Rachel and Jose. So, I really didn't have a lot of notes for them this week. They weren't as annoying as they usually are. Um, and I'm gonna just combine Rachel and Jose with Brett and Ryan, maybe, because I never have notes for Brett and Ryan. So Jose is controlling. They're out at like a nursery looking at different like flowers and seedlings and starters for their garden, and everything that Rachel suggests, Jose is like, no, maybe not. She's like, do you like thyme? And he's like, yeah, but it's weird. No, maybe not that, maybe not that. But he suggests cilantro, and she's just like, all right, fine. And she goes along with it because she said that he's the cook. To me, even though it's something as small and trivial as this, it just shows that Jose is very, very, very controlling. Um, and I know there were some people that say, is it controlling or is it that he likes things done a certain way? It's both. Because you can like things done a certain way and not be an ass about it. And I think the problem with Jose is that he doesn't even consider he doesn't even really consider Rachel's feelings or her opinions on anything. It's like it goes in one ear with him and completely out the other. So he'll hear her suggestion and he'll appease her by, maybe smiling and nodding, but he's not seriously considering it. So then they are deciding to do a Mexican fiesta for their housewarming. It was cute. The food looked okay. They had over mainly family for theirs. It looked like they didn't really have friends over. So they are always, always, always going to fight about money. They are. And it's because they are very, very opposite when it comes to money. Um, while Gil and Mirla fight about money, theirs is mainly kind of Gil seeing how much money she spends and just commenting on it. But I think now that Gil sees that Mirla is, able to not only afford her lifestyle, but has savings saved up, or savings put away, he might not be as annoying with it. But again, Rachel came into this blatantly telling Jose she's bad with money. So they're sitting around talking at their brunch, and Rachel was saying that I'm taking him to Europe no matter what. And I'm thinking in my mind, girl, on what credit card? So I was mistaken because Jose wants them to have a joint checking account. He believes that they should have one account. They put all their money into one account. He pulls out what he wants for the bills, and then she can do whatever she wants with the rest. If that is the arrangement that he wants, I don't agree with that either. I was under the understanding that he was saying we'll still have our separate accounts and we'll have one joint account for bills. So I thought that he was saying for Rachel's check, when you get paid, give me what you need for the bills right away. And then with the rest of the money, you don't have to worry about it. But absolutely not. I'm not putting money in that way because he's going to micromanage that. Like, I can see Rachel stopping on the way home to, hell, I don't know, get herself some Starbucks and a croissant, and him like nitpicking that and being like, well, there's Starbucks at home. You went to Starbucks this, you know what I mean? Like, I can see him doing that because he is so to the T about his money. And I don't know if Jose was drunk at brunch or what, but the way that he was talking when he was like, well, she lives her life she lives her life with YOLO, and she's out here buying whatever the hell she sees and she wants, and people on Instagram, and she buys this and that, and I've been planning my whole life. But it's like, I get it. You're more strict and you have a better handle on your finances. But at the same time, if you're saving every penny and not actually living life with that money, then what's the purpose of it? I understand and I totally get the, let's start planning for a baby. Let's help Rachel get her bills in order. But to be like, we're never going to do anything because in the back of your mind, you always want to have money in case, and just in case this happens, or you want to have money for the future. That's not a way to live. Yeah, you can say that you have an 815 credit score, but what experiences do you have? What has that credit score given you aside from you being able to say it? You know what I mean? It's one thing if you're like, I have an 815 credit score, and because I know how to correctly budget my finances and I know how to properly save, I've been able to go to this country, do this, do all these different experiences. But Jose is like, he don't want them to do nothing. He truly does not want them to do anything. And it's weird. It's weird. And like, I think that's what's coming across as controlling. Then he had the audacity to pull out that board so he can show everybody this is what's in my IRA, this is what I have in stocks, this is my credit score here at the bottom, written in red so it pops out at you. It's like Jose does these things because he wants a pat on the back. Not only did you bring that damn board with you, but for you to bring it out at that party for everybody to see your finances and to see how much is in your savings account and to see how much you spend on your bills is tacky to me. I thought it was tacky to have that big ass board in your house because I'll say it again. I don't want to come in your house or in your apartment and see a list of all your bills on the board and see what your credit score is. I don't care to see that. I think we have become a society and a generation where we want pats on the back for everything. People want to be praised for everything, and it's like, why? Why? Why do you want everyone at home to see what your credit score is, Jose? There are people with higher credit scores than yours. I don't understand that about him. I don't. Like, that's all the notes I really have for them. But I just think it, like, to me, it is just extremely tacky that's how he, like, lives life. And they are always going to have that argument because Rachel is someone who, as she has told us time and time again, she was raised to be super independent. And when you have someone that was raised to be super independent and does not want to rely on anybody for everything, and you have another person up here that is super duper controlling, they're gonna clash, especially when it comes to something like finances. Rachel wants to travel. Work out a travel budget for y'all. Make a travel budget and say, all right, once we save up five, six, $7,000, then we can go ahead buy some tickets and we can go to Europe. Compromise with her. She says she's taking you to Europe because she wants to go with her husband. That's fine. Tell her, yeah, we can go to Europe, but let's get your finances in order first. Let's spend the rest of the year getting all your finances in order. Let's make sure that everything is paid up before we go. Let's get these credit cards paid off before we go. Like, set a milestone, and then from there you can celebrate with a trip or something like that. But I think Rachel is being kind of I think Rachel is being uncompromising as well because maybe Europe is just not the first trip that y'all take. Plan a trip stateside. And then say, all right, since you don't want to go to Europe, we'll save up. We'll say we'll go to Europe in 2 years. Let's start off by, I don't know, let's take a weekend somewhere. And I think Rachel is she's someone that likes to travel, but I think she's also someone that's caught up in where she's traveling to. And like I had this conversation with my brother, like what people consider traveling. Because there are some people that don't consider traveling stateside to be actually traveling. Some people only consider it traveling if they're going abroad. But I just think if they come to some type of compromise where we're making sure that the bills get paid and then we have a travel budget or we have a travel savings account, we can really have the best of two worlds here. Now, it might not be how Rachel wants to go out of the country twice a year. That's not going to happen. You marry somebody that does not value traveling the way that you do. and that's something you have to compromise on. Maybe you guys taking trips, I don't know, to Vegas, New York, go see some cities you've never seen, and then you plan a trip out of the country every other year or something like that. There has to be compromise, but neither one of them are willing to compromise because Jose is overbearing and Rachel is overly independent. We'll see what happens. I feel like they might be the couple that will make it though. If any of these couples, Lord have mercy, if any of these couples make it, I definitely think it's going to be Rachel and Jose. Check y'all next week.